welcome back. There's been a war of words between the government of Abia State and a group called the Abians Best Interests Association over earmarks and expenditure as far as the fiscal performance of the Abia State government is concerned. And that has generated a lot of talking points and across the streets of Abia State, Aba, Umaya and environs, and on pages of local newspapers. And that's why we're bringing in our guest, is the former Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Abia State, Mr. Eze Chikanayo, joins us from our Abuja studios. Mr. Chikanayo, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, my brother. How are you doing?
Well, so before I throw in my first question, because I took my time to listen to some of the comments of the governor in response to you, and I would like him to say it himself. So take a listen to the governor in his response to whatever allegations you're leveling against the state government.
So, to Eze Chikamnayo, I have a message for him. This is a different government. And my response to his request that came at the beginning of this administration remains the same. The person he sent to me, he wants to be part of this government. I told him no. And the answer is no. So we have followed him. He has been part of every government from 1999. In 2007, he started blackmailing the governor at that time, and they called him and gave him a job. If he likes, let him hang on a transformer. This government will not call him. So he said I should do a video. I checked the records and I found about 5 or 6 schools are being done in Umunuchi as we speak. He should come home and see them, if he's not afraid of coming home. I shouldn't do a video. Why should I do a video and prove to him that I'm working in his local government? No, he should come. He should not stay in Abuja. And if he comes, please, somebody should also tell him not to forget to also visit the university where he claimed he read law. I'm also working there. Okay? And to the people that sent him, first of all, they sent the wrong person. A man without credibility, you don't need to send him to go and talk about it. You need to, and in any case, they may not have found a man with credibility to come and talk rubbish.
Okay, Mr. Chikanayo, we wanted those words to come directly from the governor. So just for reference, he said you lack integrity. He said you're a serial blackmailer, that this is your forte in getting attention of government to call you for the job. What's your response?
My response, my dear brother, is that I will refuse to be distracted. Governor Otti occupies a very important position, the position of governor of Abia State. And that position requires some level of maturity and conduct. So when a governor gives a tag to everybody that asks important questions as a diversionary tactics to distract from the questions, we should know better than to match him. Number one, I didn't send anybody to him. I've challenged him. This person has a name. If he exists, let him mention. Number two, I've not communicated with him either by text, WhatsApp, call from 2019 to date. This technology, let him prove. In law, we say, he who asserts must prove. So let's quickly leave that diversionary tactics. He said deliberate. The governor was being deliberately dishonest and deliberately diversionary so that you and everybody listening to him we think it's all about Chigamnayo. So we will not do that. We will not succumb to that.
So what exactly are you saying against the government? Because he listed, I'm trying to go back to some of the things I put out. He said that if you even go to your own local government, things he's doing there, he said 4 to 5 schools in Umunochi is being renovated. He said 61 schools so far. They spent about 14.43 billion naira in renovating those schools, because I understand there were allegations of missing money, about 54 billion. Looking at the performance of the budget of 2024, you questioned your understanding of economics, that there is a difference between earmarks and releases for execution. What do you make of that? So let's lay bare what you're alleging against the government.
Thank you, my brother. We are not making any allegation. We are just asking for clarification. The governor himself published in the Abia State website, published by the governor himself through his Minister of Finance, that 51 schools has been completed in Abia State with a sum of 54 billion. And we asked a simple question. Let's have the location of these schools, pictures don't lie, evidence is the end of argument. Let's know local government by local government. We have 17 local governments. Let's just have a simple list, 1, 2, 3. He wrote by himself, he made the assertion, and he published it in the state's budget performance report. And we said, please, sir, give us a list of these 51 schools, their location. Let us know the contractors handling them in line with due process. And let us also know the amount involved in the spirit of transparency and accountability. The governor belongs to the Labour Party. The Labour Party is headed by Peter Obi. Peter Obi popularized the cliché, go and verify. So we did not abuse the governor. We did not insult the governor. We just asked him, sir, please, let us go and verify, in line with the philosophy of your party. We don't want a wild goose chase. You made the assertion, he who asserts must prove. You said you have done 51 schools with 54 billion. And let me clarify something very important, so that the governor doesn't pull the wool over the eyes of people as he's trying desperately to do. There is a difference between budget proposal sent to the House of Assembly, which is can vary, and budget performance reports, which warehouses expenditure already done, that is sent to the Federal Ministry of Finance, as requested. For this started with Okonjo-Iweala, that some of these governors, local government chairmen, the monies that go to them, you don't know how it's spent. So every quarter, in the SEFTAS platform is State Financial Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program. Every government uploads what they have done. Budget performance. Budget proposal is different from budget performance. Proposal is intention. Performance is expenditure already done. And the governor came to the budget performance, uploaded by himself and his officials, and said, I've done 51 schools with 54 billion. And we said, sir, please, this is exciting. We are very excited. Because if you talk of 51 schools with 54 billion, you are saying an average of 1 billion naira plus per school. So Abia should be an Aide director. But we didn't see the schools. We went round. There on the screen is the budget performance report published by the governor himself. So we went round in January, because the 51 schools for 54 billion covered only January to December 2024. Remember that between May 29, 2023 and December 2023, the governor had withdrawn and spent and uploaded in SEFTAS 14 billion under public schools. January to December 2024, he took away 54 billion. From January this year to about June this year, which is first and second quarter, June, July, he has taken away another 14 billion. So in essence, if you think of the 14 billion of 2023, the 54 billion and 66 million, 138,500 crore, that he took away in 2024, and then you add to the one he has taken away this year, we are talking about over 80 billion. But we don't want to go into that. We said, just give us the schools, public schools, that you have rehabilitated and upgraded in 2024, 51 of them. Let's concentrate on 2024. As usual, the governor got very upset, very, very surprisingly and shockingly upset. He started abusing us. Last time, if you remember, when he said he was going to change from transition committee chairman, upgrade them to mayors at Abbas Sports Club, the people that questioned him then, he said they should go and hit their head on the wall. It was in this program that we came and said, how can the governor ask citizens to go and hit their head on the wall just because they made inquiry? So this time he said, I should go and hug transformer. So from hitting my head on the wall, and I'm heading towards the transformer, all because we asked questions. The governor himself was an opposition leader at the federal, at the state level for 10 years. He wore T-shirts asking questions about governance. He questioned the then government. I don't know why it is now very irritating to him, very annoying, that he has to dehumanize and humiliate and shame to silence anybody that tried to ask him questions. It is absolutely unbelievable. But we are not going to be distracted, like I said earlier. Peter Obi should be able to take Governor Alice Otti into a very private meeting and educate him that what Peter Obi is doing to President Tinubu at the federal level, holding him to account as opposition, is what the APC, to which I belong, and other parties in Abia State that are not the ruling party, that's the obligation we owe to the citizens. So victimizing us, humiliating us, if you saw in that tape, you say, if he's not afraid, let him come home. That's a threat. Everybody knows what that means. When somebody says, if you are not afraid, come here, it means if you come here, something untoward will happen to you. For a state governor, chief security officer of a state, to be threatening his own citizens, shaming them to silence, trying to intimidate them just for asking simple questions. You posted by yourself. You wrote by yourself. You uploaded by yourself, your government, that you have done 51 schools for 54 billion. And we said, sir, please show us, that will surface, just show us this list of the schools. No abuse, no insults, no denigration, nothing at all, not even an allegation. We just say, let's have a simple list. So that if you go to Enugu State, our sister state there, Abia State earns more than Enugu State. Abia State, under Governor Alice Otti, has earned over 1 trillion naira cumulatively in less than 2 years because of what President Tinubu has done. He has shifted all this money to the subnationals and the local governments. So much money, over 1 trillion naira in less than 2 years. And Enugu State, you see them celebrating their aircraft, you see them celebrating their 100 CNG buses, you see them celebrating their smart schools, you see them celebrating all sorts. In Abia State,
Mr.
Enugu is showing workings. What we are getting is intimidation.
Well, Mr. Chikamaya, let me comment quickly and speak to some of the points he raised. And I know you've tried to respond to them. But the issue around blackmail is still an elephant in the room, which I want you to speak to. He said that you have worked with government since time immemorial, and he's not going to allow you to be part of this government. So I want you to speak to that, those issues around blackmail. But also, he said that about 5 to 6 schools in Umunochi are already being renovated. They talked about work being done in your local government, even in the school as well. So are those things you have been able to verify indeed? Because you've referenced the go and verify mantra. So have you gone to verify? Are these things really happening, or are they not?
Yes, you see, what I have said, and I responded very quickly and totally. I said, 1, I've never blackmailed anybody. Number 2, I have never sent anybody to Governor Lesotho, and I challenge him publicly to name the person and shame me, bring the evidence and show me that I have ever, under any circumstance, sent anybody, mention this name, unknown person, unknown public schools, unknown contractors, just flying the kites, small screen, trying to pull the wool over the eyes of people. What has my working with every government has to do with 51 schools built with 54 billion, published by Governor Lesotho himself? You should know when somebody is playing to the gallery and he wants to change the topic. We are not going to be distracted. This topic must be treated. It's our duty as opposition. I'm a member of the All Progressive Congress. President Tinubu is there. He has never called out P2B, called him names, tried to shame him or victimize him or humiliate him because he asked questions. Rather, it is the joy of every working governor to invite people over to his state and say, see what I'm doing. But when our governor does not live up to the biddings of his own party, his own leader, and he does not live up to the biddings of international transparency agencies, like he does not at all want anybody to look at what he's doing. When he's running a one-man government, wherein, there are absolutely no checks and balances, and gets upset, is very crucial. Then going to Munochi, my local government, we verified. We wrote a letter in January, the Abia Best Interest Association. We wrote to the Commissioner for Finance to give us a list of these schools, and he didn't respond. We wrote to the Commissioner for Information in April, no response. Then, before we did the press conference and asked the governor to please, let's have the schools. We shouldn't even be doing that. Ordinarily, if the governor is transparent, the same governance that everybody runs, both at federal and state government, it is not, he doesn't have to wait for citizens to ask for this list. As he's talking about 51 schools, the schools, there will be an attachment of the list of benefiting schools, the location of the benefiting schools. Citizens don't have to even stress to ask this question. But since he has refused and completely rebuffed every attempt for any form of request for accountability and transparency, and we ask this question, he has gotten very angry. And why is he angry? His party is a party that is known with the mantra, go and verify. Why is he afraid of verification? Okay, even in that press conference he organized, evidence is the end of argument. All he needed to have done is to have come to that press conference. Pictures don't lie. Lists are there. He will come, maybe seated by the right Commissioner for Education, by the left Commissioner for Finance. They will say, gentlemen of the press, here are the schools, here are the locations, here are the contractors, go and verify. But instead of doing that, he turned the governor of a state, turned the whole press conference about a person trying to abuse me, trying to intimidate me, trying to threaten me, and I refuse to be abused. I refuse to be intimidated. I refuse to be oppressed. I refuse to be cowed. And if you watch from 1999 to date, we don't have up to 30 years. Even civil servants have 35 years to stay in the service. And the governor is telling you that the mere fact that somebody worked as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999, if he has opportunity to render service again, he should not do that. I never went to him. I will never go to him. I'm a member of the APC. Even the people that are with him in Labour, he has completely thrown them into serious confusion in Aide State. So his government is not attractive to any reasonable person. It's not a place I want to go. I have taken my pride of place as an opposition person in an opposition party, and I'm doing my citizenship right of asking questions.
All right.
It's my right to ask questions, isn't it?
Okay, Mr. Chikanayo, definitely, I'm sure the Abia State government will have a response. I think it's a fair request, like you made, that the response should be as clear as crystal, so that every other person can verify. But people have also praised him for, is it power now in the state, road infrastructure, facelift to places like Abia and other places. Project is done, but perhaps your focus is primarily on this, as particular this instance, on the issue of the schools and the expenditure. But we expect the Abia State government to give a robust response, and maybe if we invite them, we would like to see, so that we can also, you can also see what they say they've done. Like he said, I think about, I want to go back so that I'm quoted rightly. He said he's done about, that should be about, where's the number now? 61 schools. I think I had 61 schools with about 14.43 billion. No, what he said in the video, I think it's 61 or so, either 51 or 61, with 14.43 billion. In responding to you, I mean, in his response to the remarks he made at that presser. So perhaps what you requested, I think, is fair for us, everyone, to see. But almost thank you so much, Mr. Eze Chikanayo, the former Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Abia State, and the convener, Abia's Best Interest Association. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother.